because the rear tail panel ended up showing that it was a real Berger Camaro. Two 69 Camaros hanging out over here underneath this pine tree. A little worse for wear. It's got a really cool Crash at Auto Supply sticker on it. I think that may have been a Hot Rod 1 sticker below it.
Your video's still going?
Yep, right now it is. Hold on. This yard was absolutely full of surprises. When walking through what ended up being some of the last parts, there was this really cool Le Mans. Nothing too crazy. It was just a shell of a car. But what was next to it was the real surprise. And the very first time I was here, I didn't realize what I had. That car ended up being a 1967 Camaro SS 396 automatic car. And like, okay. Oh, it's a convertible. So you're like, okay, that's pretty darn special. And that's what I had assumed. It's a rare car. Really rotted. But when you got to the back, that's when the real surprise is, because even with it being a very rare big block automatic, ended up being a low horsepower car, it's the little dealership plate on the back tail panel that really made it stand out, because the rear tail panel ended up showing that it was a real Berger Camaro. Berger Chevrolet is a dealership in Grand Rapids, Michigan that sold high-performance cars. They had a line of supercars like Yanko or Nicky or Mr. Norms. Berger had their supercars, and they were famous. That's what I thought this was originally, because I didn't realize that they had put the badges just on anything. They were like any other Chevy dealership. They put their badges on any car. So this ended up being, with the information I later was able to get on the car, it was a basic, big block, automatic Camaro convertible sold new by Berger Chevrolet. The engine is gone, the transmission is gone, the shifter is still there, most of the interior is still there, but it is so rotted that, is it worth saving? Probably. Would you be underwater if you did? Possibly. But being a Berger Camaro big block SS convertible, I feel that it probably be worth saving. Everything's available for it. You can literally buy an entire body, I think, through Dynacorn. And a lot of cool stuff has changed in it. This is a better view of the car before the trees fell and all the new saplings have popped up around it. This was the shot after the fact that I went and saw that it had the Berger dealer plate on the back tail panel. I had completely glanced over it when I was there in 2016 the first time. And by the second time I was there, I made sure to go and properly document that badge, because the newer ones are plastic. Like I said, the dealership still exists to this day, and they have a car show there. I was fortunate enough a few years ago to go to look at a 1969 double Copo Camaro in Ohio that was also sold new by Berger Chevrolet, and that was a real survivor. I don't think it had the original engine, but I think they found the original engine. But they have a heritage car show at the dealership every year. They did. They were also the famous dealership that did the GMMG stuff in the, I think, 2000s. But yeah, lots of really cool stuff in this yard. Hey, automotive adventurers! I hope you enjoyed that video from my friend's yard. How crazy is it? A Berger Camaro convertible, big block, SS. It wasn't one of the supercars, yeah, but still so cool. And what are the odds that you'd find one still today, just sitting in a junkyard? Blew my mind in 2016 when I was there the first time, and still blows my mind today. And it is for sale. Don't forget, Everything you see in this video series is for sale. The owner's information is in the description below, so you can just drop them a line and see what is going on with it. But the last few days, it's actually been absolutely beautiful here in Chicago, and so I've been in the garage cleaning and working on the green car, and in the garage doing some reorganization, make things a little bit easier. But let me show you what I did. All right, I really didn't do anything to the front end other than you can see that there's a pile of parts right here. That's all for sale. That's a spare set I discovered of all the metal trim for the inside of the Challenger. I have my black set. I have this white set that I got about 20 years ago. Don't need it. Found out that is actually a washer bottle for a 72 and up Challenger. Of course, mine's a 71, but what's free is what I need. And then the interior I cleaned up a little bit. I'm missing the nuts with the captured washer. So the passenger seat is just sitting in there, but everything else works. And then the back is where I did the biggest change. I actually mounted the trim, and I'll show a better picture of it because I had it out earlier. But the trim is all on the tail panel. So that's looking good. The bumper looks like absolute garbage now that, you know, like it's been a year since I've done that. But as you can see, I've moved around like parts, like all the stuff that's long term, not going to touch it, or there's spares, like that's a whole bunch of spare 71 taillight surrounds and lenses and all my spare air cleaners that I'll probably never use and Viper valve covers. Those all went in the deep corner along with my Hemi and transmission, while stuff that I will use, like all the 71 parts that are going on the car, and I'll show a picture of this here, are all on those two racks there. And then, of course, I told the story on social media on that grill right there, which was from the very first car I ever found and got me hooked onto muscle cars. So yeah, so it's been a good few days of getting stuff sorted and working on odds and ends. Also, I've been trying the acetone on the roof, but you can't see it on the other side right now. And it turned out okay. We'll see. Let me know what you think. I'll be out here hopefully more this week. But next week I leave for a week from today is Roadkill Nights. So I will be there, and then I will be in Detroit all week, or in the Detroit area, and then I'll be there for Woodward Dream Cruise, and then Sunday I leave. But what is cool is every night, my plan is every night to be on Woodward. Usually I'm just north of 13 Mile on the northbound side. If you know where the old Art Van Furniture store is, it's like an outlet. I mean, it's an office building now. I'm usually across the street, either by the furniture store or in that area I try to go, because there's a nice little hill you can see pretty far. But I'll be posting everything on social media as things develop, so let me know. I'll talk to you all soon. Stay safe.